Hey everyone, it's Nathan Lusk from Warrior with a Pin Games, and today I have a fast update for you on a new thing coming from Daimyo Senso from Warrior with a Pin Games. And that new thing is a new mode that's going to be worldwide competitive that I'm going to be offering you a prize for if you can be one of the best players of this particular new mode. It's called Conquest mode. And what will happen is, at the end of every year, December 31st, I will lock down submissions for a minute, and nothing after that will be considered for that year. And whoever has the best time for that year will win a prize. It'll be probably something like a t-shirt and a certificate showing that they were the fastest player let me tell you the scenarios. Here's what happens. So you go to the last page of the setup here, and you go to the optional full board setup. You also remember that this should be west instead of east when you're setting up takedas. So you set up the board according to the optional setup, which is also the single player rules setup. And then once you have the board set like I do here, which is this mode, you then play a single player game after you choose a daimyo, and you play until you have completely dominated the entire country, where you are the only daimyo left. And you do that according to the single player rules, but instead of just playing for 4 years to conquer 5 regions, you play until all of the provinces are yours. And then at that point, that's the end of the game. You figure out how many turns it took because you've been keeping track the whole time. And you have to do it while video recording yourself. And then you'll just send that video recording to me. Now, you don't have to worry about what you're saying during the video or even what it looks like, as long as I can see what you're doing, preferably a little bit of a top view so that I can see the map a little bit better and make sure that pieces are moving legally and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, something with a small angle on it would be good too, so it would help me be able to count the pieces and make sure all of that is legitimate. However, get the video made and you send it to me. I am not going to post your video unless you ask me to, but I will keep track of which player is number one with which daimyo as far as the least number of turns it takes you to completely conquer Japan. And then at the end of the year, each of those players who is fastest with a particular daimyo will win a particular prize. But there's a catch. You can only enter for one daimyo in a year. So if you want to be the fastest Hojo daimyo this year, great. But you can't send me a video of you also trying to win as Wasugi or Date or Oda or anyone else. So if you finish this year as first place with Hojo, then you'll win the prize. And the next year you can try to be first place with a different daimyo, and you'll win another prize. And because the prizes are going to be daimyo specific, the fastest Hojo player will win a shirt and a certificate. The fastest Usugi player will win a shirt and a certificate every year. If you repeat as the same person with the same time, because it's either unbeatable or no one has figured out how to do it faster, at least from one year to the next, then you can win the prize again, but you can only do that 2 consecutive years before we will shut that one down and consider it unbeaten until someone else comes along and beats it. And then at that point, we'll have a new winner in that category and we'll be able to advance forward. So you technically could enter more than one daimyo, but you're not gonna be able to win more than one daimyo. So I recommend you keep your strategies to yourself if you have a really good one for a particular daimyo. So, reminder, here's the synopsis. You set up a game for a single player according to the optional setup rules. Then you play according to the single player rules, and except instead of playing for 4 years to conquer 5 regions, you simply play until you've conquered every single province on the map. And then once you've achieved it, that number of turns that it took you is your score. Let me show you something too that'll make it easier for you and me while I'm watching it to make sure everything's legit, is to keep track. Say you're Date, you should take one of your pieces and on turn 1, put it on honor 1. That way you know you're in year 1, keep it on honor tracker number 1. And then in year 2, move it to number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you have to get all the way to 10, you're probably not going to win. But you can keep track of your years down there on the honor tracker, and then you know how many turns it's been based on when you're finished on the number of action cards that you have left. So what we consider is a full year. The timing on it is going to be 1 full year plus X number of turns. Okay, and so if you finish Date in 4 years, and you know you've conquered other daimyo, so you've taken their action cards too, and so you've used, let's say you've conquered, well, you'd have to have conquered 7 of them before you conquer the last one. So you've used 7 of their action cards plus 2 of your own in that last year, and you have 2 action cards left when you finished, when you wiped out the last daimyo, and you're the only player standing. At that point, you would be considered 4 years plus 9 months because of your 2 action cards plus the action cards of the other, it'd actually be 6 daimyo that you've used. So it'd be 4 years and 8 months because you have also used 6 of their action cards while you were finishing it. So let's see, was there something else? Oh yeah, you'll go by the rules where you use your action cards to determine your actions, and every time you destroy another daimyo, you finish him off at his castle, you get to take 1 of his action cards and 2 of his general cards and use those for yourself. But there's a catch in this mode. Don't stop the video yet. Here's the catch. At the end of every full year, you need to add 1 soldier to every land out there you have not yet conquered. So this conquest mode means that their armies will slowly build over time until they're slightly larger than they were to begin with. Shouldn't make a huge difference, but it may cause some mathematical problems later on down the road if you're not dealing with a bigger army soon. And then it's not just getting rid of all the other daimyo, you also have to own all of the empty ones. So you can't leave any land empty. So like this one starts empty and that one does and that one does. You've got to take over all of those too. There can't be any empty land. You must have at least 1 army in every single province on the map. You do use the regional bonuses. You obviously do use your general cards, and you play the game according to using your action cards as well. So set up a single player, pick a daimyo, and then destroy all of the other daimyo and take all of the empty lands as fast as you can. Use the elimination game rules and the single player rules in conjunction with each other to do that, and get it on video so that we have a proof that you did it that fast at the speed that you did it. And remember, you can only do it with 1 daimyo at a time. So make it your favorite. Make it a really good one. I personally am going to enter my own time for one of the daimyo later on today, hopefully. It will be soon either way, to give you an idea of what we're doing. And I will go ahead and talk through mine to show you what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So if you have any questions, email me at natelusk@hotmail.com. If you want to go ahead and submit it, you will submit it to me at natelusk@hotmail.com, or you can just go to warriorwithapin.games and hit the contact button there, and it will email me from there also. I have a feeling these videos are going to be pretty big because it's going to take you some time to get one done. So in that case, if you have to send me a link to it somewhere else online, just make sure that you have permissions available, and that I'm easily able to get to that link, so I don't have to struggle just to watch your video. Thank you guys. I'm really excited about this new mode. You'll see my video come out for it later on, and hope to see yours soon too. Thanks for coming to the gaming table with me, and happy gaming, everybody.